Senator Krueger to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm very pleased that we are today passing for the second time the constitutional amendment we've nicknamed the Equal Rights Amendment. I want to remind everyone, our federal and state constitutions were written at a time when the promises of equality only protected the interests of a few, and so our constitutional protections are woefully inadequate. In fact, our last version was adopted in 1938, and the New York Constitution's equal protection and civil rights provisions fail to reflect our current vision of equality. In fact, New York's Constitution only explicitly creates equality protections for race and religion, and is silent on protections for other classes that have been historically targeted. Our state's Constitution's Equal Protection Clause does not provide comprehensive protections against discrimination. In fact, it only explicitly protects a small number of us. We must amend our state constitution to include robust protections against discrimination that effectively work to hold our state and its institutions accountable for ending discrimination. This measure proposes amending our Constitution's current Equal Protection Clause in Article 1, Section 11 to create broader protections against discrimination by the state and its institutions. These protections under this reform would now explicitly prohibit discrimination on the account of a person's ethnicity, national origin, age, disability, or sex, including sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, pregnancy, pregnancy outcomes, and reproductive health care and autonomy. Some people think we have these protections in law, but as many of us have learned only too recently, a court can come in and knock down protections we thought we'd had our whole lives, such as the Dobbs case at the Supreme Court. New people can be elected that knock down laws that we thought protected our fundamental rights, only to learn that those laws can change. What you really need to protect your citizens is clear information in your Constitution about what is protected. With this amendment, which will now go to the people for a vote in November 24, we will be able to determine for the future of 20 million New Yorkers that they have equal rights under our laws and under our institutions. So I'm very glad to be voting yes, and I hope all my colleagues will join me in that. Thank you, Mr. President.